going to do, we're going to plant what we actually utilize and what we actually eat. I've planted stuff before, and I do enjoy it, and I like having it, and I may plant more. But there's no need to plant a bunch of stuff out here knowing that you might eat it once or twice a year, and you've got a row or two of it. Plant you one or two plants and be done with it. Takes a while to figure that out, but once you figure it out, you'll save yourself a lot of extra effort, extra work. We're going to plant us some watermelons and cantaloupes and maybe some squash and cucumbers. I've already got some Charleston gray watermelon seeds here that I had left from last year, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in those big pots right there, in these right here. I'm going to put them there, Charleston grays, and that will give me 6 pots full if I put 2 seeds in each, and that's what I'm going to put in there. I think I've got 12 seeds left. Now I've got some seeds that I saved, I think, out of some of the watermelons that I growed last year, but I'm going to put 2 seeds in these pots, and I push them down to the first joint in my finger there, which is probably about 1 inch deep. Just put them in there and push them down to that first joint. That's how I do it anyway. Just like that. It don't hurt to have 2 or 3 seeds in a hill. And if one of these come up in each one, it'll be sufficient. Okay, let's kind of pat them in lightly. Now I've got 2 more here. Let's see, that's a Charleston gray. I've got 2 more big pots. And what I think I'll put in them big pots, because I've got plenty of time to do it, I'm going to put some of these golden summer squash. I'm going to put 4 seeds, which is all I'm going to put in there. Do it the same way, down to your first joint in your fingers, what I do. Now while we're at it, we'll go ahead and label those, because if I don't, I'll forget. I'll get me a couple labels. My labels finally come in. Summer squash, golden zucchini. I'll just put golden zucchini on there. It's a golden zucchini. Now, those grow and germinate quick, and I don't want to plant a whole lot of them, but I do want to get some planted where I can get out. That's just 2 little pots. I'll plant more later. Pushing it on them, I think, just a little bit, maybe not. It's according to how fast they germinate and come up. These are cantaloupe. I think they're called honey rock. And I'm going to plant 7 of those. There's one thing about it, they're proud of their seeds. They're good seeds, but they're proud of them. Putting 3 in there, yeah. And that will also give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. That'll leave me 8 in the pack. 8 in the pack. Just in case we have to replant if something was to happen to them. That's what I like to do. I don't like to get rid of all my seeds at one time. Honey rock cantaloupe. I'm spending too much time sitting here writing. I'll do that later. Now, this, like I said, I just push them in. You know, up to my first joint, my finger there. Hopefully they'll germinate well. Now I've got some cantaloupes that I saved. I don't think I'll plant them right now. I tell you, cucumbers grow in a hurry. Burpless beauties. And then these are straight 8. Straight 8's hard to beat. I'm going to plant these pots right here with the straight 8 cucumbers. Eight of them. Again, let's put 3, just in case 1 or 2 of them don't come up. It's not the seeds. I mean, you can save a little on seeds, but you know, you think you're saving, but there's just so many hours and so many days in this growing season. You don't want to have to back up because enough didn't come up. You want to get your seeds germinated well in the amount that you really want, the amount of plants that you really want to contend with. I'm not going to write ever. I'll just kind of keep these in groups because I'm not going to write a tag for every pot. I'll put that right there and we'll know that whole section is straight 8 cucumbers. Now, one more thing here. These right here, we need to plant some of these. And these are Black Beauty zucchini. I'm going to plant 2 seeds, 2 good seeds. Right here, 1, 2. And I hope that I hadn't already planted something else in there. Black Beauty zucchini. And at least we've got a pot of those started. Now that's all, except I've got to water these in just a little bit, which won't take half a second. But we want to get that taken care of. I'll lay my stuff right here and maybe it won't fall off till I get them watered. You don't want to overwater stuff, that's for sure. Let me get my hose right quick. I water all this stuff, and I need to really saturate these watermelon seeds and stuff that I just planted. We want to get that in the ground good. Don't want to over water stuff. That is for sure. You can pick your trays up there and feel the weight of those trays and tell if they're saturated enough. You can let that stuff dry out on top. You think, well, oh, that's dry. Well, in reality, if those trays have got weight to them, there's still water down there. you can waterlog these little plants if you're not careful. Now, these tomatoes here, really I need to move them over there, because as I'm watering these squash, those very easily could get a little bit too much water. I'm not going to do it now. I'm not going to do it now, but later I'll keep them together. I'm going to try to keep this whole table maybe with tomatoes. But in reality, we'll put on there whatever that we need to put on the table. I brung this in yesterday and set it up. I had it down there. And it's they're this dilapidated old tables. They're good, and they got drain holes in them. That's why these tables are sloped to this corner, because the drain holes right here in the corner. You want all that water and stuff to run, but you got to make sure. I planted some here one year. It's been about 3 years ago. Had a bunch of plants here, and I noticed across, of course they was like these trays, and they were butted in here tight. You know, you couldn't hardly see the bottom, which was a mistake. But anyway, I had stuff planted in them, and I got to noticing these first two here and up through here, but especially right here. You can say three trays, and they sprouted, and they just died out. And actually, one tray, it didn't even. They probably germinated, but they just drowned. And this plug was stopped up. And when I'd water these, that water would come down to this end, and it pooled down here. And of course, them trays was just constantly wicking that water. They couldn't dry. They couldn't dry out at all. The water couldn't percolate away from the tomatoes and peppers and onions, I think is what I had said. So it just drowned them. You got to be careful. You don't want pots, especially, you know, the ones with holes in the bottom. Naturally, they should have. If you've got them setting in water, they'll just keep a wicking. Now, I'm talking about little seeds. If you had a big plant, probably wouldn't make a bit of difference. Those roots like to be moist, but unless you're a water lily, you don't like to be sitting in pure water. It's hard on them. Okay. I think that's enough. Now what we done here, we got us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 containers. 6 containers of Charleston gray watermelons. 2 of the zucchini. I think they're yellow. Wasn't that what they were? Golden yellow. Yeah, they're golden zucchini, yellow zucchini. And then 1 of the black beauties, zucchini. And these 6 right here are cantaloupe. And over here we planted 8 containers of straight 8 cucumbers. And that's enough right now. That, you know, that, of course, that, when we set them out, it could be kind of sketchy as far as a late frost or something. And a late frost comes on cucumbers, zucchini, watermelon, cantaloupe outside. It'll kill them. It'll kill them, you know, if that frost hits them, if it drops down. So that's why I planted these, and in about next week, I'll come out here and I'll finish planting the watermelon, zucchini, and more cantaloupe, because I want plenty of cantaloupe and plenty of watermelon. Charleston gray, that's all the watermelon I'm growing. And then these little honey rocks, I've never growed them. Then I've got some big ones that volunteered and come up out here, one or 2 plants right over here last year. It made a cantaloupe big, and it was delicious. So we're going to plant them. What we're going to do, we're going to plant what we actually utilize and what we actually eat. I've planted stuff before, and I do enjoy it, and I like having it, and I may plant more. But there's no need to plant a bunch of stuff out here knowing that you might eat it once or twice a year and you've got a row or two of it. Plant you 1 or 2 plants and be done with it. Takes a while to figure that out, but once you figure it out, you'll save yourself a lot of extra effort, extra work. Okay. We'll take our stuff and get back in. I'm having to keep this door shut because of the cats. Because the cats will come in here and they'll get right in the middle of that and lay down and destroy your plants. So, it looks like the cats is on their way out. On their way out. Okay. Now, here in a day or two, I need to water. I need to water these. I'll water them after a while this evening. Okay, we'll get on out of here. And just like I said, you can see what we've got started here. It's not a great deal of things, but it's all we need. But it's time to get stuff started. If you back up, if you go start right now, it's almost 1st of May. You plant stuff right now, if it takes 6 weeks in here, you're talking it's 1st of May. And at the 1st of May, you should have stuff in your garden. That'll be it today.